Sari Cohen with Hollywood First Look. Joining me today are Alicia Silverstone, Stephen Moyer, and Drew Van Acker. We're here to talk about their new movie, Last Survivors. Without giving too much away, Stephen, I want to start with you. What was going through the mind of your character? Let's set the scene a little bit here.
An apocalyptic event happens 20 years before we meet them. His son's mother dies. This terrible thing has happened. He runs to the mountains and he finds a piece of land and he barricades them in from the bad of the world. And from then on, he creates this kind of utopian dream. He has sheltered him so much from the world that he's terrified of what will happen when he does see what is left out there from this world. But something happens in which he has to leave, and so everything within Troy's world is thrown upside down by the character of Alicia, Henrietta.
Well, Alicia, I will take it to you now. Your character, you layered her so beautifully. She's kind and vulnerable and just such a joy to see on screen. I'm curious for you, what resonated most for you with her?
Thank you. When I read the script, I just thought she was a really complicated woman that was starting her life over and trying to find herself, and has retreated to a more simple way, without all the noise and chaos that the city life and the world was creating in her. Like her pulse, she couldn't take it, her nervous system anymore. She was at her cracking point. And I thought that was so interesting that a woman would leave her children and leave her world to go do, she has to be so fragile in her world there to go do that, to go leave your children. And then that this boy who's becoming a man comes along, and sees the beauty in the world and understands nature and is good at everything she's trying to do. And so even though he's young, he's really wise in his soul and in his skills. And that's part because of what his dad, Troy, has given him. He's given him this man self that can take care in the world, but he's not given him the information of the world. So he's like just born, but so alive man as at the same time. So this is a fascinating creature.
I feel like the movie kind of went from drama to thriller and then ended up being this cautionary tale. What's your take on your character and the storyline?
I think, well, first off, I think this story is kind of seen through three very distinct perspectives and three very different points of view, starting with Troy and then kind of blending into Jake, and then all of a sudden Henrietta comes into the fray, and it's it's a totally different worldview than where we were before. And live a certain way your entire life, and I know there's a lot of people that can relate to this, to live a certain way your entire life and to be told one thing and to kind of live a certain reality, and then to have that completely flipped upside down, and then to question everything. I mean, literally everything you've ever been told, everything you've ever been taught, and then kind of try to create your own version of what is real and what isn't, and what is truth and what is false. And I thought that was really fascinating.
You can check out Last Survivors in theaters or watch it on demand.